Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judith Mahlangu. I have been a community worker for over 20 years, working in semi-rural, peri-urban, and urban under-resourced areas. I'm currently studying a bachelor's degree in development studies at the Northwest University in South Africa. I would like to acknowledge my co-presenters, colleagues, and friends, Dr. Michelle Janse van Rensbeck, who is a senior researcher at the Community-Oriented Primary Care Research Unit at the University of Pretoria, and Mrs. Helga Lester, who is a lecturer and Community Academic Service Learning Coordinator at the Occupational Therapy Department of University of Pretoria. Okay, sorry, my documents are messed up, sorry. South Africa faces various socio-economic challenges. This includes high levels of poverty and unemployment, particularly youth unemployment, child-headed and food insecure households, gender-based violence, and substance use, to name a few. Along with these challenges, there are problems within the provision of social services, education, and healthcare. Civil society organizations, including non-government organizations and non-profit organizations, are recognized as crucial to improve and support the health and well-being of society by, for example, caring for orphans and the elderly, providing food to food insecure families, supporting the destitute, and developing skills. These organizations rely primarily on the private sector and donor funding for financial support, along with a subsidy if they comply to certain conditions. However, funding is often erratic and difficult to secure. And with many organizations competing for a limited funding, things can be challenging, not only for the organizations, but also for the people they serve. Challenges regarding accountability and transparency continue to occur. As a community member living in a semi-rural area, I have been a beneficiary of NGOs, and I also been a community worker working for various NGOs. Through this, I have experienced the misuse of funds, conflict within NGOs, and projects not being sustainable. This presentation will describe the challenges and barriers faced by beneficiaries of NGOs, and recommendations will be made in terms of overcoming this from my perspective as a community worker and a community member. The aim of this work is to identify challenges and barriers experienced by beneficiaries of donor-funded NGOs and MPOs in order to create awareness to benefactors, community members, and beneficiaries, and giving voice to those who are meant to benefit from NGOs and MPOs community development programs. An understanding of these challenges and barriers have been gleaned from years of reflective journaling of my experience as a community member and NGO worker. Reflections have been analyzed thematically with the following themes emerging from the data: accountability, inclusion, transparency, access, power and privilege, and sustainability. There is a general lack of accountability and monitoring system of donor organizations or private funders are missing or inadequate. Often there is an inadequate systems for benefactors to track beneficiaries' progress regarding funding provided. There is often a lack of transparency and the misuse of funds. Funds are used for different projects instead of fulfilling benefactors' wish or the beneficiary's actual needs. Records and progress of previous funded projects are not transparent to the public. The inclusion of beneficiaries in project decision-making is often inauthentic when it does occur. Beneficiaries usually do not have full access to information regarding project funding. Also, beneficiaries are often not allowed to access to benefactors. Power and privilege are entrenched in South African society and suppress beneficiaries' voices. Because of social problems, disadvantaged beneficiaries have no capabilities of financial power to approach legal representatives to address NGO management in raising their voices when problems such as fraud arise. Sustainability is often not achieved in community development projects due to all these challenges and barriers. I believe the following recommendation could be useful in overcoming the challenges and barriers mentioned. For every project established to benefit the community, beneficiaries has to be included from the planning to implementation, monitoring and evaluation of programs. This will provide an opportunity for skills to be developed and will contribute much to the sustainability of the project through the facilitation of ownership. Policies and planning related to the project must be transparent to the beneficiaries so that they can know their rights. Relationship and expectations between funders, NGOs, and beneficiaries must be outlined at the beginning of the project and managed throughout. This is so important, as much damage can be done even from good intentions. Beneficiaries must be included in progress reporting instead of NGO representatives providing reports. This can improve accountability and empower people with regards to report writing skills. Transparency regarding finance is crucial. Funders should appoint representatives to monitor if NGOs are using funds appropriately. Funders should be in direct contact with beneficiaries too, in order to determine whether the funding is meeting its intention. Follow-up system of previously funded projects must be in place for reflection for upcoming projects. In this way, a reflective and participatory process can contribute to improved service learning. Often the funders have their own priorities which are not in alignment with the real needs of the community. This challenges the beneficiaries in the use of the funds, since on the ground, the reality of the hierarchy of needs may be different. Donors and funders should therefore consider being truly community-centered and allocating funding with complexity and various needs in mind. There's a need to a change in the way beneficiaries are viewed. They are not merely passive recipients of services. They are people with agency who have rights, who should have a voice, and who have much to contribute. In conclusion, these are a few practical suggestions to overcome some of the challenges and barriers I have experienced and observed over years as both a community member and a community worker. While there is much good being done, there are also things that can be done better. These seemingly small changes could make a huge difference in how vulnerable and under-resourced communities and their members are supported. Thank you for this opportunity to share some of my experiences with you. I look forward to engaging more with you.